Greetings. Let me see if I can get this microphone working right. Greetings, fam. How's everyone doing? All right, y'all got to give me a heads up and let me know y'all out there. All right. Let me see. Peace. This is Professor Griffin. Of course, this is Arm the Masses right here on Black Power Media Reloaded. All right. Shout out to Kalanji Chaba Shanga. All right, doing a wonderful job over there with the brothers and sisters as far as the team is concerned, making it happen, trying to build a network. All right, but the network cannot be built without you. Shout out to the Ernster. What's good with you, man? Gary's Garage, man. The double G in the building. All right. Mrs. Moore, what's happening with you? All right, Byron Wall, what's good? All right. No, we will not be discussing the Super Bowl. No. I'd like to discuss that Palestinian flag that was flown at halftime, but the networks didn't want to show, but we're not even discussing that. All right. It's kind of fly if you saw it, but y'all didn't see it. So, yeah. I'm going to let y'all go with that one. All right. Anyway, in any event, all right, this is Professor Griff, and this is Arm the Masses right here on Black Power Media Reloaded. Of course, you might be watching this. You might be seeing this on Serious Minds on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever you're watching this at. But wherever you're watching this at, it's a beautiful thing. Wherever you're hearing the sound of my voice, it's a beautiful thing. But this cannot be what it is without you. So we need y'all involved. All right. Today's subject, we are simply going to send our positive energy out to the family of Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. All right. And we're going to discuss some of his work. All right. So if you can, in the meantime, in between time, if you're unfamiliar with Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. and his work, we affectionately call the code. Could you please do me a favor? Google the man right now. Go search the man, whatever search engine you use. You might not use Google. You might use some other stuff. Find out who the man, look up the compensatory code. All right. We need to know who the man is. Can we at least do that, fam? All right. We owe the man that much. But anyway, I want to figure out, navigate through the madness. Where are you tuning in from, fam? Where are you tuning in from? All right. We're going to give a shout out to wherever you're tuning in from. Let me know if that's possible. I already know the ATL is in the house because a couple of y'all already let me know y'all in the building. All right. Okay. All right. Austin, Texas. All right. Austin, Texas. I got you. Got you. Durham, North Carolina. Fort Lauderdale. California. What part of California? Why you keep doing that, man? California's big as hell. What part of California? Detroit's in the building. Houston, Texas. Philly. Dallas is in the building. Memphis showing up like a fat rat in a cheese factory. All right, Philly. Orangeburg. Okay, I'm learning. Arkansas girl, what's happening with you? Vanessa. Boulder, Colorado. Illinois is in the house. San Diego. All right. After y'all let me know that y'all in the building, go look up Neely Fuller Jr. so we can start this conversation. 585 Rochester, New York. Why does that sound familiar? I used to live in Rochester. I don't think my address was 585, though. I used to live on Garson Avenue in Rochester because I went to East High in Rochester, New York. Alabama's in the building. South Central Cali, Spartanburg, South Carolina's in the building. Aurora, Colorado. All right. Africa City. All right. Got you. All right. Anyway, in any event, family, we're going to be talking about and sending our good brother home, Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. Rest in power, good brother. All right. We're going to talk about some of his work today, and we definitely need y'all to chime in. Even if you just hitting up to tell us what you've learned from Dr. Neely Fuller Jr., that would be a beautiful thing for young people to hear. All right. So I'm going to play a couple of clips, and hopefully we can kind of make this thing happen. Let's do this. All right, the DMV checking in. Southpaw Panther. All right. Okay. Let's see.
Quietly looked upon as a bunch of jokes. But people talk nice to us because they don't want to be bothered with us. They'll talk nice, but at the same time in their thoughts, they couldn't think anything else except these people are just about completely worthless as any creatures can possibly be.
All right, so when we talk about Dr. Neely Fuller Jr., you have to understand the context in which this good brother over here done laid out a body of work with Neely Fuller in cartoon form. So understand the dynamic. I'm going to adjust my camera for everyone on Instagram so y'all can see what we're dealing with over here, because we might be diving in kind of deep. So I'm going to give y'all the benefit of kind of viewing it from this perspective. All right. All right. So in any event, this is Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. It's in cartoon form. And I believe this brother either might come out of Canada. I'm not sure. And we'll find out where he's from. All right. We'll just kind of go from there. All right. Anyway, let's listen.
Listen.
If you do not understand white supremacy, what it is, and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you. Now, sometimes people say, well, you mean everything that I understand will confuse me if I don't understand racism? Yes, because racism is the dominant political and religious motivating force among the people of the planet in all 9 areas of activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. That covers just about everything that any person, minute by minute, might be doing or engaged in any time of day or night, anywhere on the planet.
And now, Mr. Neely Fuller.
If you do not understand white supremacy, which is racism, what it is and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you.
All right. If nothing else about Dr. Neely Fuller, if you do not understand anything else, it is that one point right there. If you do not understand racism, white supremacy, everything else that you think you understand will only confuse you. All right. If you've seen the flyer or the thumbnail to this particular talk, today I had Dr. Neely Fuller Jr.'s picture up with Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. And Dr. Francis Cress Welsing thanks and mentions Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. in this book right here, the ISIS Papers. All right. They were comrades in the struggle. And it's a beautiful thing. So if you do not understand racism, white supremacy, most of us are walking around in this world without a fundamental working definition of racism, white supremacy, in which I think we need to get under our belts and under our caps so we can understand and have some kind of perspective from and of which we're coming from which we're coming from. All right, don't worry about my English. English is a foreign language to Black people in America. All right, so don't look at it like you're speaking bad English, you're speaking broken English. We can have a whole damn show on black people being the ones on the planet, as far as the vast majority of us learning a foreign language. Most of the times this was beat into us, but nonetheless, we have managed to articulate aspects of who we are. We've managed to articulate our struggle. We managed to articulate a few things about our open enemy and about how we view and see the world, whether it's through the lens of ancestors or just through our own lens. So don't worry about my English. You take what you think I'm trying to say and put it in that fine language that you speak. You can correct anything. All right? With the filters that you have. Because your ass will filter a goddamn pimple on my face. All right? And be real, real critical. Yes, you will. Stop playing. Because I've seen some of the nasty ass comments that you leave on my show. So stop playing with me. Anyway. All right. So that one point you have to understand. So if you don't have a working fundamental definition of racism right now, all right, I think that's where some of us, matter of fact, all of us need to start. All right. Do I have this light? I do have this light. All right. So let me read a definition to you. All right. Now this is from the ISIS papers. If you don't have this book on your shelf, if you don't have the ebook, all right, if you don't have the audio book, all of which you can find online, all right, or if you don't have it, just hit your brother, Professor Griff, up. I got you. But you have to have one of the three. I'd say get all three. Get the audio book, get the ebook, and get the physical book. All right. So the working fundamental definition of racism, white supremacy is as follows. All right. As a black behavioral scientist, this is Dr. Francis Cress Welsing talking, and practicing general and child psychiatrist, my current functional definition of racism, white supremacy is as follows. The local and global power system structured and maintained by persons who classify themselves as white, whether consciously or subconsciously determined. This system consists of patterns of perception, logic, symbol formation, thought, speech, action, and emotional response as conducted simultaneously in all areas of people activity. Hold on. These areas of people activity are economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war, for the ultimate purpose to preserve the system. And this system is to prevent white genetic survival or annihilation, on the planet Earth, a planet of which the overwhelming majority of people are classified as non-white, black, brown, red, and yellow, by white-skinned people. All right. All of the non-white people are genetically dominant in terms of skin coloration compared to the genetically recessive white-skinned people. All right. We are dominant. Black people are dominant. Under the term black, before the Black Laws Dictionary, we were. All the other definitions you want to refer to yourself as, fine with me. Long as you get the definition of racism, white supremacy correct in your psyche. All right? Okay. That is the definition of racism, white supremacy. Let's understand that from its core. From Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. All right? Let's finish with the clip.
Only confuse you. Only confuse you. I know you. I know your father, your grandfather. I had them in chains. You can get in each other's face. You can run around with your little 9mm killing each other. Don't you get in my face at all.
He's coming from the white man's perspective.
I'll let you talk and act.
The white woman's perspective.
sometimes let you talk and act tough to me. But remember, I'm letting you do this. Because I don't have to let you do anything, including breathing. And nothing can stop me. And you don't know anybody who's big enough to do it. So quit acting. And that's what I say in the books that I've written. We need to stop being actors. We're always talking about keeping it real. That's black people in the Northwestern Hemisphere. But we're the most unrealistic people on the planet.
Now, I don't know what segment of people that he's talking about. All right. But there are some people that keep it a buck, keep it 100, keep it real. Some people are truly about that life. All right. You understand what I'm saying? So maybe he's talking about a segment of black people. I'm not sure, but you're listening to it as I'm listening to it. So you kind of filter it like I'm filtering it. Let's move on. All right. We're only going to do a few more minutes of this, a couple of clips. All right.
Quietly looked upon as a bunch of jokes. But people talk nice to us because they don't want to be bothered with us. They'll talk nice, but at the same time in their thoughts, they couldn't think anything else except these people are just about completely worthless as any creatures can possibly be.
Now, I read some comments as I was doing the research for this show today, and it talked about, they were saying about Neely Fuller Jr. They was basically saying, yes, they were saying that I understand what he was saying. There's a lot of things that they said that they disagree with. All right. So I say probably so it is with the majority of us, because it's a new concept that we're trying to understand. But if that is the case, then there's nothing wrong with you feeling and thinking that. If that is the case, work it out in your own mind. And then let's come together to have the discussion about it. Nonetheless, Neely Fuller Jr. is a master teacher among us. All right. And a master teacher teaches and he affects generations. All right. So now my children's children know about Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. and have to be able to apply what he taught us. You're not going to understand everything he taught us. You're not going to agree with everything that he taught us. But, you know, that's just human nature. All right. So let's understand how this particular thing works. All right. Charles Wilson, thank you very much. Charles Wilson says, I love Neely Fuller Jr.'s knowledge. He spoke all facts and truth. Give thanks. Rochelle Love says, R.I.P. Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. Autumn says he's a master teacher. And he is, Autumn. Thank you very much, Autumn. John Trey says, the psyche. You're right. We got to unlearn some things to learn some things. All right. We have to unlearn some things to learn some things. And there's nothing wrong with that. All right. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm trying to find this other clip of Dr. Neely Fuller Jr., which he kind of goes in and breaks down the idea of this, the code, where he talks about his book. All right. Hold on. I wanted to find where he talks about the compensatory code. All right. Well, before I do that, I want to play one where he talks about the psychopaths. All right. No.
Do you know how to spell? Or are you just a bucula obtruculate? Because I'm not the one. I know a lot more than probably what you do. I'm probably older than you. I'm very sophisticated and I'm highly talented.
Spell it one more time for me.
Absolutely, and they do it even at the what we call the lowest level. They'll tell you that you are now a high school graduate. You say, well, how am I a high school graduate? Because I said so, and here's a piece of paper that I made out 15 minutes ago, and I put your name on it, and I'm giving it to you. Because I'm the one who determines what people know and what they don't know.
Mm.
I'm the God here. So I'm saying that you know these things. And so you take the piece of paper and you look at it and you say, now, okay, that's nice. It sure is pretty. You know, it looks good. Got my name on it too. Say, okay, I gave you the piece of paper saying that you now have a degree of knowledge that I have given you. And I put your name on it that I have given you.
Mm. Wow.
And you say, okay, now what can I do with this? I'll talk to you about that later. Well, what do I do in the meantime? Just try to stay out of trouble. That I'm going to see to it that you get in.
Wow.
But you go over there to this building or that building and get in line, and we might have something for you. Depends on how I feel by the time you get there. By the time you get over there in my brother's place. Because you can't do nothing with that piece of paper except what we say that you will do with it.
And that's a hell of a thing. That's a hell of a concept. They give you some kind of degree in which you'll already know by studying some of the work that I've done, where we talked about the educational system and the degrees. It works like sometimes like the Masonic order and other sororities and fraternities. You have to move in degrees. It works like some religious books where you have to move in ayats or surahs or chapters or this kind of thing. So we have to understand this particular dynamic and how all of this kind of work. All right. Okay. So yeah, fam. Neely Fuller kind of laid it out for us, and I put the link in the chat for anyone to come on. Even if you want to come on, I'd rather you come on rather than being combative. Just come on and let us know what you've pulled. In short, let us know what you gained from sitting at the digital feet of our elder, because most of us were not privy to go to some of those lectures and those talks where you actually physically saw Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. All right. I put the link in the chat. Anyone would like to come on. I want to find this thing on the code, compensatory code. Hold on. Let me see. All right. Neely Fuller Jr. the code. All right. Well, I think I might have something here, fam. Let's see what happens. Let me share the screen.
See, it always comes down to procedure. See, black people love slogans. You know, black power, fist in the air. We love a lot of drama. Dark glasses and looking ominous and all this kind of stuff, and dreadlocks and all the rest of it. I mean, to assert our manhood, that's a whole bunch of nothing. I mean, let's face it. We got to deal with truth. I mean, black people more than any people on the earth talk about keeping something real. And we're the most unrealistic people that ever existed in the history of the universe. Because we won't, first of all, tell the truth about our prison-like state and the system of white supremacy. We have to understand the system that we're in and stop pretending. Stop being actors. Stop pretending to be fathers. Stop pretending to be mothers. Stop pretending to be something other than what we are, victims of white supremacy. Because now some people will say, well, if we look at ourselves as victims, that kills the spirit. No, it doesn't. See, black people want all these wonderful reports. We are great when it comes to drama and pageantry. We want somebody to tell us how great we are because we're just so black and proud. Well, it doesn't make sense in the system of white supremacy. We don't have anything to be proud about. But that doesn't mean that we just go around and forever be heads down, hand dog.
Right.
It means you do like any people do who have odds against them. Know what the odds are and start codifying how you are going to overcome these odds, and don't spend 5 minutes bragging about yourself.
Listen.
If you do not understand white supremacy, what it is, and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you. Now sometimes people say, well, you mean everything that I understand will confuse me if I don't understand racism? Yes, because racism is the dominant political and religious motivating force among the people of the planet.
All right. Hold on. Sean, what's good with you, man? All right, Sean, I brought you up, but I don't see you. Hold on. Let me turn my music down just a little. Sean, you on, but I don't see you. You got your camera on? All right, you got to come back on, Sean. I tried to bring Sean on, but
Politics, religion, sex, and war. That covers just about everything that any person, minute by minute, might be doing or engaged in any time of day or night, anywhere on the planet. That's why I tell black people, just to make yourself feel good, don't pump yourself up on a lie. Don't go around talking about, that you don't believe, because you say you don't believe in white supremacy, that white supremacists don't tell you what to do, and you walking around on this planet as black as can be and saying that the white supremacists don't tell you what to do. I run my own business. They don't run my business. I run my own business. Well, stop and think. Stop and think and ask yourself, are you really telling the truth? No, these people don't tell me what to do. That's why I'm where I am today. Well, where are you today? If you're black and anywhere on this planet, exactly where are you today? Anywhere on this planet, if you're not under the system of white supremacy. That's the question. I started off this program like I start off and continue in all programs because it's a scientific fact. All problems are solved through the process of what? Questions and answers. So when a black person says, no white supremacists tell me what to do, oh, then the question is, does anybody tell you what to do, ever? And if so, who, when, where? And then go through the 9 areas of activity. Does anybody tell you what to do, in economics? Does anybody tell you what to do and what you better not do in education? Does anybody tell you what to do and what not to do in entertainment, in labor, in law, in politics, in religion, in sex, in war? And if the answer you give me, and you're black, is that nobody tells me what to do. I'm my own boss. I got my own business and everything. You need to stop and think about what you're actually saying.
All right, let's dive into that for a second. Shout out to Noni. Noni, what's good with you? All right. All the way from the port land in Oregon. Shout out to Noni. All right. Matter of fact, shout out to Noni family and company. I see you over there, little sis. About to take the reins, doing your thing. All right. Anyway, so Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. just kind of lays it out really, really raw. It's going to take some degree of processing, all right, if you're going to kind of understand the mind of a white supremacist. If you're tuning into what's going on around the world today, you saw in, I believe it was Ohio, where the white supremacists were marching. And yeah, black people kind of came together and just was not going for it. All right. They was even joined by a couple of other white people. All right. So it's going to go down. It's going to happen. There's just a degree of them that's not going to lay down and see how this thing is playing out, even though they have white supremacists in the White House, even though they got white supremacists in the cabinet. All right. They have the Senate, they have the Congress, there's white supremacists that's just, yeah, that's there running things. All right. And if you don't know what a white supremacist is, or if you don't know what white supremacy is, go look it up. All right. Not your sophisticated definition of what you think it might be. All right. Understand it from the perspective of people that not only coined the phrase, understand it from the perspective of people that have lived it, lived under it, lived under its thumb. All right. Then we can go so far as to look at the people that are the perpetrators and to put the system in place. And then we can compare our notes. All right. All right. I'm going to take the hold on for a second. I'm going to take the invite yet again, and I'm going to put it inside of the chat. All right. I'm going to put it inside the chat. And if you don't want to come on, just send a positive message. I'll put it up on the screen. We're sending our good brother home, and we're remembering our good brother, Dr. Neely Fuller Jr., who gave us the compensatory code, a book we affectionately call the Code. All right. Wow. Okay. All right, in the meantime, between time, let me look at this. Let me share my screen with you, and let's dive on. All right. Let me see if I can blow this up a little over here on IG. I think I could. Just let y'all see the cover. Mr. United Independent Compensatory Code System and Concept. A compensatory counter-racist codified word guide by Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. This is only just a few excerpts, and they tore a few pages out of his book. And I found the flip book of it. Let me just do this here. I found a flip book of it. There's only a couple of pages of it. If you do not understand racism, white supremacy, racism, what it is and how it works, everything else that you understand will only confuse you. Dr. Neely Fuller Jr., 1971. I'm flipping the page now, and the introduction is here and the preface. So you can actually find the book online. Like I said, the audio book, some cats have brothers that actually came and broke the book down. They have discussions about this, study groups centered around the particular book. All right. So when it talks about the whole idea of the importance of correct context, understand this particular work in its correct context. All right. Thank you very much, Vanessa L. King. All right. So we talked about the importance of correct context. A lot of times we have these discussions and we start out on the branch level instead of going down to the root level. All right. We must understand from the root level, in which I try to get people that come on the show, I try to get them to understand. One gentleman wanted to come on and he wanted to talk about there's no such thing as black towns and cities and that kind of thing. And I just try to get him to understand it from a root level instead of being out there on the branches. And we have to cross collateralize things and we have to cross reference. All right. Okay. So it's only a few pages that they give you in this flip book, because it's part of the Internet Archives. All right. So please let me go back to the original page. The United Independent Compensatory Code System and Concept. Neely Fuller Jr. Look his book up, study it. All right. So we can have a fundamental working definition of racism, white supremacy. All right. All right. My favorite Neely Fuller lectures about bragging and black people coming together for constructive plans. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Neely Fuller Jr. let us know it was up to ourselves in first person, not in third person. Okay, give thanks. Today I came across a video, a couple of going through the King Alfred plan. I was taken aback because most people not having this much needed discussion anymore. Okay. All right. Here is the link to the stream if you want to come on. All right. StreamYard.com/SPB4. V as in Victor, Black Panther, BB. P as in Paul, number 5, and letter D as in dog. All right. Okay. I'm going to play a couple of more clips, well, at least one more clip, and then we're going to end this broadcast. All right, fam? All right. Let me share my screen. All right, let's talk.
Rather than use the term white supremacy, use the term white aggression. Okay, put that on the board. Erase the term white supremacy, put white aggression on the board. Does that change the circumstances? I have found that it doesn't. You can switch words around and play with words all you want to. I say that to people based on logic. But if the situation is the same, what does supreme means? Why are you afraid of it? Anything can be supreme, you know. I mean, if you let it, and we let the system of white supremacy exist, simply because we think we can wish it away. We don't make any effort to replace it with a better system. And that better system would be the system of justice, logically speaking. They say, yeah, but, you know, you're giving you know, those white aggressors, they ain't nothing. I mean, you're giving them too much credit. I'm not giving them anything other than what the rest of us are giving. I mean, you know, I'm giving them what I'm giving them, and that is what they demand that they want. Now, if that ain't supreme, I don't know what is. I do what they tell me to do. That's supreme, folks. I don't tell them what to do. They tell me what to do. I'm a prisoner of war. I was born in a prison. Every non-white person who is existing now, truth be told, is a prisoner of the system of white supremacy. That's why we are protesting how we are being treated. They are not protesting how they are being treated by us. That's supreme. That's what supreme means. It doesn't mean you're good. See, people get the two words mixed up. Words are very important. If you say white aggression, yes, it's white aggression. That's how they got to be supreme. They were very aggressive in becoming supreme. They say we're going to take over the non-white people of this world, black, brown, red, and yellow, and having them begging us about whether or not they'll be able to eat tomorrow or today or sleep tonight, because we can kill them anytime we want to, all of them. And they can't kill us anytime they want to kill us, because a lot of them might want to kill us right now, but they don't have the know-how, and they ain't got the muscle. All right, just like, you know, in the Corleones, if you want to use the Godfather movie as an example. Hey, who has the muscle? Who has the muscle? Well, if we had it, then they wouldn't be treating us like this. This is the kind of thinking that gets black people in trouble when they jump out of a car when they are being pulled over and an armed person walks up to them, and that person has a white face who may or may not be a racist, and all of a sudden, woof, 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 woof. Black people have, you know, a lot of us have these big, heavy voices. A lot of us been lifting weights and all like that, and we got a lot of muscle in our bodies, but not a whole lot of muscle, the record has shown, in our brains, all right? We are not known to be the most brainiest people in the world. Truth be told, and the white supremacists know that because they have seen to it that we haven't learned very much in the little time that we have been under their tutelage, because they block us from learning. But we walk around trying to make ourselves believe that we know everything, and that does not pay off very well, particularly when we start trying to express it in the form of counter-aggression against the aggressor. Like I said, many of us, and I've seen it, and some of us have experienced it, jumping out of the car, woof, 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 woof. You ain't gonna put them cuffs on me. I mean, you know, I got my rights. I know what my rights are. I'm tired of this. You know, woof, 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 woof. Okay, all right, woof, woof, woof. And what is the record shown? That most of us who do that wind up out of this world.
You gotta be mindful what you say nowadays. You can't say, yeah. Anyway, peace, man.
You know, we got the books, boy. You know the compendium is here. You know the book is here, man. And then you gotta get his student. You know the book is here. We know the book is here.
Right, peace. How you feel, Mr. King Simon, sir?
Man, rest in power with our brother Neely. I used to talk to him regularly on his phone, man. And you know, he was born October 6, 1926.
Oh, okay.
So, already born under that educational number and that deep thought pattern frequency, man. I'm so man. And I was trying to call him all from his birthday. I've been trying to call, but he wouldn't answer. So obviously he was going through some stuff. You know, his health is. I mean, he would only show up on certain shows. You know, I used to hear him on the Cow show and all
Carl
those.
Nelson show.
Yeah, and the Carl Nelson show. Yep. So
Yeah.
I tried to get him on, but he said he wasn't doing lectures anymore. Cause I wanted to bring him out, but I understood. You know, he was getting older. He didn't want to do that. So, but man, it's I'm glad that you're doing this show, Griff, because you know that brother was. He's the building of the melanated Rushmore, the building of the melanated Rushmore mountains. You know what I'm saying? So and there's B more. It's not even Rushmore. It's B more. You know, and I'm proud of the journey, man, that he's had and the educate. And you know, I remember when I called him and got the book and he sent it to me. I believe he didn't get to sign it. But he definitely sent it to me because you had to order it directly for him at that time, man. Boy, he's gonna be deeply missed, and he always had that strong voices. I used to talk to him. I used to talk to Dr. Sabi. All these guys had some very strong, powerful, penetrating voices, man.
Right.
It's gonna be a deep thing, man. I don't know when the funeral is. I don't know if they put it out, but or they're gonna stream it or something, but. I hope whatever it does, man. I hope they give him do him justice whenever it happens.
We got to begin to know the process, and there's several different processes on how we send our elders home. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of us are quiet, like myself.
Yeah.
It's hard to be after my dad and my mom and a couple of members of my family. It's really hard for me to do funerals.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It takes me a lot longer to get back to myself. You know what I'm saying? Jesse Paris said he was 95 years old.
Yeah.
Woo! Wow. Man.
Yeah.
Wow. That's critical, man. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I didn't realize that at all, man.
That he what?
That he was 95 years old.
No, well, I got his number and his birthday because I asked him his birthday immediately. He born 1926. He would be 98.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He told me his birthday personally. So I got it right here. I got his phone number. Look at that right here.
He would be 98.
He would have been 98.
Yo, he's lived.
1926. He told me I could, I'm not gonna show his number because maybe somebody else have it, but but he told me, I asked him his birthday immediately when he was born. He said, King Simon, I'm born 1926.
Right.
Right. That voice is something. Yeah, he's 98. He passed on. So,
whoo.
Yeah, we could only pray to live that long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you kind of think I got another 30 then.
Yeah, that's right.
To live if that's the case.
Yeah, my grandfather, he lived to 103, so I know it's possible.
Somebody did the math, man. Mrs. Moore said no, he would have been 95 in October.
Really?
Yeah. 96 in October or 95?
But if he told me he was born 1926, he told me he was born 19. That's what I'm saying. 1926 from 2024 or 2024 take away 1926 is 98. That's what he told me. That's what the year he told me he was born.
Right.
Unless he's mistaken on his birthday.
But a lot of times, a lot of people didn't reveal their actual born date because a lot of them didn't have birth certificates and this kind of thing.
Right.
That birth certificate thing didn't happen to when with not John D. Rockefeller. I forgot the gentleman's name that instituted that birth certificate thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because like I said, he told me it was 1996. He told me he was born 1926. That's what he told me. He was born 1926.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, I can show it to you better than I can tell you. Right. But again,
I said it went on Wikipedia. You can't go by Wikipedia. That shit is wicked as hell.
Yeah. Like I said, I called him. I got his 202 number right here. I got his number. So I know. I talked to him. I asked him directly.
Right.
I don't know about everything else. Everybody else got, even Shahrazad Ali's birthday is not right up there. Plus, she wasn't born around April, or she wasn't born in August. I think they put
They,
either
they
April.
don't have my race, nationality, or whatever, or my name right on Wikipedia. They
Yeah, I'm
can't
very
my
good.
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia. People don't know Shahrazad Ali. They got a whole nother birthday, and she born February. She born in February. It's crazy.
Right.
You know, I talk to these elders directly. I don't get it off of Wikipedia.
So listen, so I had a brief conversation with a gentleman who said they didn't necessarily agree with what Neely Fuller was saying, but they respect the fact that he's an elder and he's a master teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And I basically told this gentleman, I said, everyone's not going to get it. You probably get it in your own time.
Exactly.
Maybe this is not your time to get it. Maybe you just need to pass it on, and maybe your children's children might understand it. Thank you, Ricky. That's what I was trying to say, Ricky Manor. Birth certificates wasn't a thing until Social Security Act in 1930s. That's what I was trying to say.
That's what, yeah, we heard that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we didn't keep track of time like that.
Yeah.
We lived.
Just lived.
We lived. We didn't say, you know, I'm getting older, and these kind of phrases, which puts gray hair on your head. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, so you went to the event last night. I wasn't able to make it.
Yeah, we was looking for you, man. Somebody asked for you. A few people asked for you. So yeah.
Man, you talk about being exhausted.
You mean on Saturday night, last night, Saturday?
Saturday. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
I did the gun show.
Oh.
I taught a couple of classes, man. I was exhausted, man.
How did that go out? How did that go?
Oh man, it's always beautiful, man. There's a quiet group of our people,
right,
that's making it happen, man.
They're
real quiet about it, like you. They're quiet about it.
You can't talk too much, bro. You can't tell you can't talk too much. But
exactly. Then I didn't, I wanted my band to get down, as I told you before.
Yeah, he didn't want that.
For real, we can't. I'm like,
yeah, he didn't want too much of that. It wasn't too much of that. He definitely didn't have that. Definitely spoken word. A lot of that energy was there.
I'm glad. I'm sure some people told some folk tales, some stories, which I'm sure was a beautiful event.
It was good. It was good. It was good. I have to commend Brother Rich. It was good. I was the MC. Me and him was MCing. That started on time, because if we didn't start right on time, we went overtime. So I'm glad. I come from that school of starting things on time, man, and I'd like to keep things going, popping.
Yeah.
And
then the mere fact that it was at night, my energy. I said a few years ago, I said, I'm not doing this night stuff, man. Y'all catch me do a day party, I'm there. But yeah, when nightfall, yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had the rest the next day. I said I'm not watching no Super Bowl, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Did you get the halftime? You ain't watched the halftime, did you?
I did. I watched the halftime.
Yeah, what do you think? I watched the halftime too.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of, I don't know. It's the message was there. He definitely did it in such a way it was strategic.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I don't know. We bring Ricky on and Autumn. Hold on.
Right.
Add to the stage, and we're gonna add to the stage. Autumn, are you there? Hold on.
You know what I love about Kendrick though, right?
No, wait, hold on. Let me just say this before you say that. Now, Autumn, if you're not gonna come on, there you go. I was about to say, I changed the rules of my program. Nobody's coming on with these blank screens no more, because some of these dudes be coming on talking real fucking slick.
Yo, what's up?
No, they do. They talk real fucking slick, but I want to see your face now. From now on, that's gonna be the rule. So greetings, Autumn. Greetings, Ricky. How y'all doing?
Greetings.
Good. Thank you.
This is King Simon. Of course, y'all already know. Professor Griff. It's a pleasure meeting y'all. It's a pleasure to see y'all beautiful faces, for real.
Pleasure.
And I mean that.
I want to get all the geeking out of the way. Professor Griff, I've been a fan of yours since I was like preteens, adolescent, man. Like,
thanks,
enemy posters all in my room, like, for real. I don't geek for too many people, man. I've been to like several of your shows, man. When y'all came through South Carolina back in the day, I was always there, So like a lot of the stuff that you guys talked about, I was listening to the conscious rap, and I still listen to it. I still get down with Public Enemy, man. So I just want to say that before we get down to business. You guys are awesome.
Okay.
What's up, King? And what's up, Autumn?
Peace up, Rick. Peace up. Yeah. Public Enemy was the thing. Yeah.
Autumn, talk to me. What's going on? How you feel? Why'd you want to come on today? You had something to tell us and talk to us about Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. and his work?
Well, I'm glad that you did this. I put a notification on YouTube because I watch your program a lot. And I just recently got into him like last year.
Okay.
And I would just play him talking for hours about white supremacy and racism. Yeah. And I loved it. He would make me laugh too. It was kind of funny. He was just so honest. He was just so honest and fed up. And I'm just so thankful for him and Dr. Francis Cress Welsing as well. And I actually grew up Muslim. My parents were in the nation.
Okay, wow.
So my dad told me that Chuck D is the reason I exist. Because if it wasn't for Chuck D, he wouldn't have joined the nation and met my mother at a mosque.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful. Wow. That's wow. That's beautiful.
And I met Chuck D and I met Rakim as well.
Oh, okay.
With my dad in New Mexico, of all places.
Your dad was putting it in. Khalif Muhammad, sit tight, good bro. I got you, all right?
Yeah.
All right, Khalif.
He used to sell bean pie and everything, but
oh man, you got the bean pie popping off.
We all did that. We all did that in Nation. We did that in Nation.
Right. So he put me on the Public Enemy. I grew up with y'all. Of course, I'm a product of the culture. A kid of hip hop and all of that. Okay. And I really appreciate Neely Fuller. He was very special, and I'm surprised that people didn't come after him.
Well, we don't know if they did.
Because they come after our leaders. They come after our people.
Yeah, the last few people I had to check. You won't broadcast everything, sis. So keep that in mind.
Right.
Like that last fool that I brought on here, running in the mouth.
I didn't see him. I didn't get to see him.
He'll be all right. We don't need to discuss him. He'll be all right.
That's why he didn't. That's why when I used to talk to him, that's why he wouldn't come out to certain places anymore, because people was too. He predicted it. People would get too sensitive. They got too sensitive. Let's be real. They got sensitive.
He was so real, so honest, and I love that about him.
Right. Yeah. So Ricky, talk to me, man. We're gonna bring Khalif on in a minute, but talk to me, Ricky. What's happening?
What I liked about Dr. Neely Fuller is that he was very brutally honest. Okay. He says a lot of the things that, I get down with. And these are things that if I talk about, well, I'm just going to say I align myself with the FBA movement. I was born, in a conservative family, so I still got my conservative ways about me. And Dr. Neely Fuller, when he made that one video, it's a guy on YouTube who makes videos in cartoon form. Yeah. And he was making a lot of sense about a lot of things that Dr. Neely Fuller was saying about us as Black people staying away from each other until we got something constructive to say. That video is something that I've been preaching for years. And then when I heard Dr. Neely Fuller say it, I'm like, darn it, I'm not alone in this thought process. Us going to clubs, us drinking alcohol, being around each other and being destructive, that is the worst thing that we could do with each other. I mean, think about it like this. We just got our holiday for Juneteenth, right? And every time we have that holiday since we've been gathering for it, it's been always something that we conducted ourselves in a negative way around each other, that they talk about this on the right wing circles. You see what I'm saying? So
you tune into the right wing people and you listen to their conversation? Because I wouldn't know.
I listen to everybody. And the reason I listen to everybody, because I want to know what everybody's thinking and how to engage with them when conversing with them.
Yeah. Right. Well, we were doing Juneteenth prior to it becoming a holiday. Mm-hmm. We already been doing the Juneteenth thing. So that's really so they recognize it as a national holiday. That's good. That's to soothe and to pacify their guilt. But that's a piece of paper shuffled across someone's desk, a few people voting, but in all actuality, we've already been celebrating ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? But
it's like I didn't cut you off. In South Carolina, I've never heard anything about it until 2020. My ignorance.
Right. Ricky, hold on 1 second, good bro. Khalif, assalamu alaikum, good bro. What's good?
Alaikum salam, sir. Hey, first, before I say what I wanted to say about Mr. Fuller, I had the privilege of meeting you, brother, in Emeryville, California, I think it was 1991 or 92. I bought you a bean pie. You was at the Days Inn, and you called the mosque. They called me. They say, brother, go to the Days Inn. We got somebody out there that needs somebody special that needs a bean pie. And I brought you the bean pie, and I saw you. I was like, this is GRIFF, you know, Professor GRIFF. And I was just wondering. I know it was a long time ago, so you probably don't remember that.
Brother, he presented that like I was in the corner feeding, hitting my vein because I needed a
bean pie, my brother. Bean pie.
I mean, you came out to Oakland. You told me you were there for, I think it was a hip hop summit or something like that.
I remember. Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, you told me you were there for that, and it was a special moment for me, you know, because you Professor GRIFF. So I've always remembered that. Other thing I want to tell you is a couple of years before that, when you guys had a public enemy, you had a concert, Public Enemy show, and Huey Newton was in the audience. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that at all. No.
So at the end of the concert, when we were leaving, we were in the parking lot, and I recognized him. My dad was in the Panther Party, so he introduced me to Huey Newton a couple of times. So we were in the parking lot, and I recognized him, and thanked him for everything he did. And I always wanted to just let you know that he was there and saw you guys perform.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But now to Mr. Fuller. So if you see, I represent the Institute for Counter-Racism Science. So on page B of the United Independent Compensatory Code, Mr. Fuller put his phone number there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For everybody to call him. Anybody could reach out to him. And I called it, and you, like the other brother there, I used to talk to him all the time.
Yep.
And I just wanted to clear up some things. Number one, he never wanted to be referred to as a master teacher.
Yep.
Okay.
Because he said if he had that type of knowledge, he would have used it to eliminate the system of racism, white supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
He also said never refer to him as a doctor.
Okay.
If he was a doctor, he would do the same thing.
Yeah.
So those are the other two things I wanted to say
I'm
about
glad, I'm glad you said that because I did both. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got to own mine, so I know from now on I got you.
And the only reason being is one of the problems that he recognized that we have collectively as a people is that we tend to put our elders, raise them up so high that they're on a pedestal and call them leaders as if they had a solution to a problem, right? And he talked about how there's like a cult of personality kind of thing where people center around these personalities and then they clash against one another because of the different personalities. And he never wanted to be a part of that kind of thing, is what he explained to me when I used to have the conversations. And it's all in the code. If you read the United Independent Compensatory Code, the whole process breaks that down because the racist white supremacists have been using words to confuse us into thinking we're doing what needs to be done to eliminate the system, and we're not. And this book breaks it down for you. And there's other ones, right? He's got the word guide, and he also has a new this is the revised edition of the code, which is another. This is like 200 pages. This is 400 pages. And then he's got the word guide. Okay, because he said again, the way the white supremacists control us is through the words we use.
Language.
It's the language, and coming up with the word guide was designed to help us follow what he calls follow the logic, get down to the truth.
Right. Can I ask you something? And this is no shot at you, Ricky, all right? Because you said something I'm trying to process, but I wanted you to finish. When Ricky said he was a conservative, what does Neely Fuller have to say about the conservatives and the liberals? And that, I ask the question on my show all the time. What does the conservatives conserve?
I get that question asked all the time. Basically,
wait. Let Khalif answer, and then you can come back, Ricky. I got you, bro.
That's in the code book also, okay? Because so you got two sides of the political spectrum. You got the conservative side and the liberal side, right? The left wing and the right, the right wing, right? Both of those are two racist white supremacist methods for practicing racism, white supremacy. They're just different. The liberal white supremacist wants black people to practice things on the liberal way, and the conservative white supremacist wants black people to practice the conservative way.
Right.
And so basically, the code says you don't take either side.
Right.
You just investigate, you question, and see how does this lead to revealing truth in a manner that promotes justice, that would help the person who needs the most help get the most constructive help they need.
Right. All right. So Ricky, talk to me. With what Khalif just gave us, talk to me, good bro.
All right. So basically, what I mean by being, I identify with more conservatism. I'm all about my First Amendment right, which is our freedom of speech, our Second Amendment right, which is one thing that I see that the liberals shoot down a lot as a people. And it disgusts me, especially after we're going to use the Buffalo shooting, for instance. We had Ben Crump to come up there and tell the black people there that the problem is the gun manufacturers and, selling these weapons to white supremacists. Well, the last time I checked, I can't show them live, but I got a whole wall full of weapons. Nobody looked at my race when I was buying these weapons. Nobody looked at my race when I was buying this ammo. And those people in Buffalo, New York should have been practicing their Second Amendment right instead of going along with that Democratic Party, voting for them thinking that they're going to be protected. You're asking for protection from the same people that hold you down. And then on top of that, these are conversations I love to have, especially with, the people that are in the movement. Because I don't try to convert you to thinking the way that Candace Owens does. She's a part of Conservative Inc. Okay, a lot of these people that are on the right that look like us, they're part of Conservative Inc.
You got to slow down a little. When you say the right, we got to make sure we understand, because a lot of people, when you start talking about the right and the left of what?
Of the political spectrum.
Okay, I got you. So the right, got you. You can continue.
Yeah.
Go on.
But so when I start talking about, practicing our Second Amendment right, we should have been on that a long time ago. And it's not militant to think that way. It's only survival, because when you start listening to some of the white people on the right, that's what they're all about. That's about their survival to them. We need to be that way. We got too comfortable in our state of integration. And that's why I say every day when I wake up that integration was a failed social experiment.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever heard of this book?
Which one is that?
It's called The Second.
Throw it up.
Race and Guns in a Fatally Unequal America. Carol Anderson. The Second. You talking about deep. When we start talking about the Second Amendment and the two-way movement and the gun world and the firearms world, which I'm in, you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We have to kind of look at this thing a lot deeper than what we're really looking at. And so let me ask you something. So do you think we do our, and this is for Autumn, Simon, this is for everyone. Do you think we do ourselves a disservice when we dive so much into the etymology and the words that we use without using our native tongue? Because a lot of times when I say black, I get at least 18 people in 18, 19, 20 comments. We're not black. We're this, we're that. And it's almost like it's a trigger for some people. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if we're going to come together, what do we come together under if the terminology is so confusing and combative and it's triggering. You understand? Like, for example, I could run down the list of my family tree, and you'll see Blackfoot Native American, you'll see aspects of Africa and whatever. And then one dude came around and told me I wasn't even FBA because I got Native blood. Someone said I shouldn't use the term Native. I should use indigenous. So I said, okay, well, I got indigenous blood. And then someone said I shouldn't use indigenous because, and I'm like, come on, man. So where do we go? Where do we come together? Getting around this terminology.
We're all victims of white
just keep in mind, we have to be real brief because I'm running out of time. So talk to me.
Okay, so the LGBTQ community, they rewrote the English language so that people can be on code when they're talking to each other or when people are talking about them. Why can't we be that way towards talking to each other?
Okay.
That's what the word God. That's what the word God is for.
So then what should we be calling ourselves then?
Victims of racism, white supremacy, or prisoners of war. Because that's what we are.
Okay. I got you. So are we perpetual victims? Because I hear the Christian people talk about, I'm not a victim. I'm not going to claim that.
Well, we won't be perpetual until the system of racism, white supremacy is brought to an end. Once it's brought to an end, we will no longer be victims. We'll be survivors.
And Dr. Ratchis Cress-Wilson says, when we bring racism, white supremacy, the system to an end, we have to replace it with justice. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. What was you about to say, Autumn?
I was just agreeing with him. Like, we're victims of white supremacy racism. I think people getting caught up in shade of skin tone and, oh, don't say Native, say indigenous. That is a bunch of fluff that doesn't matter. Like, we all understand the issue at hand. You know, we're dealing with this force of diabolical. Like, it's diabolical, it's devilish, it's evil. And I think sometimes about God just sitting up there in the universe and just watching all this mayhem go on for so long. And it's so amazing that Black people used to run the world. Like, ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet, they've been around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Like, how can we get back to that? Do we need to be race mixing with white people? You know, so everybody has a little brown in them? Because that's what I'm afraid of.
Well, that's what's already happening, because there were 600,000 mixed race babies during the turn of the century. So this whole idea of rape took on that whole Me Too stuff. If we roll that back, it'll be a problem. But hold on 1 second. All right, so you're on, Jesse. You on? What's happening, man? Che Nkrumah, aka Jesse.
How y'all doing? I'm still learning.
All right, but listen. We got a new rule. We can't bring nobody on unless they show their face, man. So I love you to life, bro. I'm sure you got some. Thank you very much. Good. Now, in case we got to track down your mama's dog, you understand? I want to know who we're talking to. What's happening?
What's happening? RIP to the master teacher, Neely Fuller Jr.
Now, hold on. Now, Jesse, Khalif just told us we shouldn't be calling him the master because he didn't want to be called the master. So we're going to respect that. But, Dad, I'm sorry, Dad.
Our brother's Neely Fuller Jr.
Yes. Neely Fuller Jr., not doctor, but Neely Fuller Jr.
Wow.
Right. I went to produce justice to get mine. But
y'all are educating me today, because Khalif, I didn't know that 400-page book was out, Jesse.
Yeah, this is the 2016 edition. I got the Word Guide and I got the Word Guide right here.
All right.
The revised edition.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got the 84 edition as well. I went to Produce Justice to get them. So my whole thing, Griff, you were talking about, somebody said that you weren't FBA. That's a damn lie. FBA is a combination of the slaves that were brought here from Africa, that Black indigenous people that were already here.
Well, watch the language, man, because Khalif might jump on. The slaves weren't brought from Africa. Africans were brought from Africa and made slaves. But go ahead.
Okay, well, the Africans that were brought from Africa and made slaves, Africans, the Black indigenous people that were already here. Like you said, you're Blackfoot, I'm Blackfoot as well. My grandmother was Blackfoot. My family's from South Carolina. I'm the only one that's from, I'm calling from Denver, Colorado. I forgot to make that clear. I'm in Denver. I have my own podcast, Frontline Black News. I'm simulcasting right now on Frontline Black News and my personal YouTube page. Now, whoever told you that you wasn't FBA GRIFF, they're lying. You are the textbook definition of what FBA is, Foundation of Black Americans, the descendant of American child slavery freedmen. So all we're saying, hey, look, if you are a descendant of freedmen, you have access to this reparations claim with the United States government. We don't get in everybody else's reparations claims. We're not included in CARICOM. We're not included in these other reparations movements. So we started our own here in the United States. Now, I understand the reparations movement goes all the way back to the 70s. But now in the 2020s, we have a resurgence of this movement, and we are going by lineage, not by race. You're not eligible just because you're Black. You're eligible if you are a descendant of freedmen. That is our legal status in this country. So the freedmen, who the 14th, 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments were specifically for, that's who we're speaking of. So if you are of the diaspora, we say sue your colonizer. If the French were your colonizer, then sue them. If the British were your colonizer, then sue them. If the Spanish were your colonizer, then sue them. But the problem is everybody wants to get up in our reparations claim, and we can't have that. Now, the great Neely Fuller Jr. said that there's no such thing as an American, there's no such thing as an African, there's no such thing as an Asian, there's no such thing as an Australian, et cetera, because none of these places produce justice. So we are actively working to produce justice in all 9 areas of human activity, which are entertainment, labor, politics. Let me start over. Economics, entertainment, law,
religious,
politics, religion. Correct. In all 9 areas. So if we're not actively working to change this global system of racism and white supremacy and replace it with a system of justice, we ain't really talking about much of anything. And that's what Neely Fuller Jr. wanted us to do. He said all people that classify themselves as non-white, so-called people of color, we are at war in all 9 areas, specifically Black people. We have been at war with this country and this government for 400 years, 400 plus years now. So we understand that it's a global system. So it's not just here in America, it's globally. So
all right, cool. All right, we got to wrap it up. So I'm way over time, man. I got Kalanji hitting me up saying, bro, wrap that up. Well, one last quote or one last statement from everyone, then I got to get off of here, all right? We'll save King Simon for last. Neely Fuller Jr., give me one word.
Produce justice.
Brutally honest.
Brutally honest. Thank you very much, Ricky. Autumn.
Legendary.
Legendary. And Khalid.
Victim of racism, white supremacy.
We're going to get it from all perspectives. I got you.
It's on the back of this book.
Right? And Shay, a.k.a. Jesse, give me one word.
Legendary.
Legendary. Okay, King Simon, talk to me.
Critical thinker.
Critical thinker.
Critical thinker.
All right. And I'm going to say God having a human experience called Neely Fuller. All right?
Yes.
Mr. Kalanji calling me. See, I got to get off of here. I love y'all to life, family. All right.
Thank you.
You too, brother.
Peace.
Yeah, take care.
Peace. All right, peace. This is Professor Griff. I got to get off of here. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm way over my time. I love y'all to life. This is Professor Griff. Peace, fam. Peace. Let me get up. Let me do this. And let me stop my... All right, peace, fam. I got to go. Peace. Love y'all to life. Peace.